So before the video even starts, guys, can you guys please do me a favor? Watch the video all the way through if you can. And also, if you like the video, please hit the like button and possibly share the video. And if you really want to see more content from me, definitely subscribe. This helps us with the YouTube algorithm because likes and things like that are the things that drive us to be seen by other people and by people that normally wouldn't be able to see our videos given that we're a smaller channel. So with that being said, guys, let's get into it. Anybody ever wondered if the kingdom was set in modern times? Well, you don't have to wonder anymore. All of Us Are Dead is the answer to that question. So, what is All of Us Are Dead? Well, All of Us Are Dead is a South Korean horror drama. It's a zombie fiction in particular, in the same vein of like a Train to Busan, or if you're in the anime, High School of the Dead. Very much so like High School of the Dead, but we'll get into that in just a minute. So, what is this about? Well, essentially, All of Us Are Dead is dealing with the idea of what if a zombie apocalypse started in a school and basically consumed the entire city and then started going through the country, of South Korea. And so that's what you're left with. Now, what makes this series interesting and kind of different from other zombie fiction is not only the origins of the zombie virus, which you do find out what the origins are. It's not like one of those vague things where stuff just happens, talking to you, Walking Dead. But you actually do get to find out the origins of this zombie plague, and the origins are actually tied up in a little bit of the messaging. There is a social message, a social commentary, as with most zombie fiction. But this is not what you would expect. In particular, zombie fiction usually focuses on consumerism, but in this particular case, this zombie fiction is actually focusing on a subject that you would never really associate with zombie horror fiction, and that is bullying. Now, of course, I'm not going to spoil anything, but just know that bullying is at the heart of this entire situation. So, we have a bunch of students, a bunch of faculty in a country where people, for the most part, follow the rules. They listen to their government and they obey. And so, when the structures of authority start breaking down, it's very interesting to see how other cultures react in those type of situations. In particular, the people of this particular story, there are mixed reactions depending on where you are in the hierarchy of the social standing. So, some people, they react with panic. Some people react with fear and cowardice. Some people rise to the occasion. And it's very interesting that the level of bullying in this series and what it's trying to convey happens at almost all levels. So it's not just restricted to the kids, which I find very interesting. You find levels of bullying in the adult world, in the school itself, among the faculty, and it really shines through, but not at some points it can be a little bit much, but it's never really done in a preachy fashion as to, oh, bullying is bad and, we must stomp out bullying, but rather getting you to look at almost both sides of the equation, from the victim of bullying to the bully themselves. So I found that kind of interesting, something that you probably wouldn't see in Western entertainment. So it's kind of refreshing to see that kind of take in entertainment in general. Now, where the kingdom was more to do with political intrigue, with the backdrop of a zombie plague. The zombie plague is really first and foremost in this series. These particular undead creatures do not necessarily take a break, like in the kingdom where they would, rest during periods of time. And what I find is that the various abilities of the zombies are interesting, because it doesn't seem that they're particularly undead per se, but more so infected with a virus that takes over the mind. So I find that interesting, and the focus on the virus itself and how it works is actually very, very refreshing in a genre where usually there's not really a lot of explanation outside of maybe the Resident Evil movies. There's not a lot of explanation. It's just zombie bites, you turn into zombie, don't die. So this was really cool. The characters, some of them are serviceable. The main characters are really cool. But what I did find weak about the series and kind of irritating is the reliance on the teenage melodrama in certain points. Like, we're running for our lives. It really doesn't matter who likes who and who wants to be whose boyfriend. It really doesn't matter right now. Like, there was literally a zombie gnawing on somebody's face. Can you focus? So, that might be an issue. But other than that, I mean, it's really a fun series, and it'll have you binging it. Like, if you're gonna watch this, I say binge it. I mean, the episodes are about an hour a piece, so if you can block off that much time, I say do it. Because if you don't, you might end up really just getting spoiled by somebody who's also watched it. Similar to how people were spoiling Squid Game. Now, is this on the level of Squid Game? I would say in certain portions of this particular series, it's actually surpassing Squid Game, and I'll tell you why. Squid Game had a lot of plot holes. This series seems to take a lot of attention to detail when it comes to continuing story threads that were maybe shoved off to the side maybe 2 episodes prior or 3 episodes prior. They seem to always circle back around and bring those threads back into the forefront, and that's something that I really appreciate out of the storytelling of this particular series. Would I want a season 2 of this? Definitely. I really like this, and I like that Netflix picked it up. So if I have to put a number on this particular series, I would say All of Us Are Dead has earned a 9 out of 10. So if you like zombie fiction, you like Korean drama, definitely give All of Us Are Dead a watch. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to see you on the next one. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. And think about subscribing, if you want to see more of our content. That being said, 8-Bit Heroes out. Peace.